In this video, I'm going to show you how to implement your AI workflow and how to use AI tools more effectively in your stack as a SaaS business owner. So first of all, you need to design the AI stack around workflow and know the tool. So for SaaS founders, project leaders, and technical managers, the practical difference between AI experiment and a reliable AI system is design. Specifically, workflow architecture tools are the last. Workflow come first. So what that means is basically you need to focus first on. You need to understand what do you really want to implement and what is the impact of that. So you don't want to just implement AI just to say that you're using AI and because your competitor, for example, are using it, and so you don't want to feel behind. So you really need to understand what uh, the workflow you want to automate and what is the output of it. Next, the common pattern I see is the tool first acquisition. So founder collects AI tools to fill perceived gaps, prioritizing coverage over clarity. So the result is a noisy, expensive catalog of capabilities. So like I said, they want to just implement as much AI as possible, regardless of the impact, and then they end up investing too much on the AI. They waste time and money, and that's not what you do. What you want. Then we have faster inefficiency. So the stack expands, the underlying manual workflow remains, tasks speed up but remain inconsistent and brittle. So what you what you need to understand with AI is just going to scale the input. So if you put a lot of garbage, it's gonna regurgitate a lot of garbage as well. So really, the quality of the output is directly correlated to the quality of the input. And then integration does not equal design. Connecting APIs is often treated as a finished implementation. Integration without workflow design inherits ambiguity. So when you connect an API, you cannot just connect an API using an API request like it's just a tool. You need to have a clear workflow. You need to have a step-by-step flow, and you need to really master it. Then where team get constrained. It's not the AI capability, it's uncertainty about what to automate in what sequence and who owns output when stacks matter. That ambiguity is structural, it propagates through a stacks and becomes system fragility. So undefined outcomes become before adoption, ownership gaps for AI generated output and processes that rely on single expert. So the reframe is the AI stack is workflow architecture. So start by mapping decisions that are slow, inconsistent, or second point of failure. You need to define the reliable outcome you need, then choose the tools that serve that design. So tool answers the how, the workflow answers the what and why. So this is the sequences that you need to implement AI is you first need to identify the bottlenecks, then you define the success and the owner, then specify the workflow steps, and finally the implementation. This four-step sequence turns vague capability into an operational system. So you identify, specify, owner, design sequences, and implement. So what is the step of identifying is list the decisions that are slow, inconsistent, or dependent on one person. Then you define the expected outputs, the acceptance criteria, and an owner for each decision. We need to know which who is responsible for each step. Then you need to design the workflow. So you need to map the exact steps and end of required to project the outcome that you want. Then the implementation, you choose the right tool to fulfill the steps, and you integrate with clear monitoring. So these boxes are the practical checklists for converting capability into production-ready systems. Then operationalize with contracts and metrics. So design the stack so each automation step has a clear input-output contract, the shape, the type, the quality of data, and owner responsible for verification and escalation, and the metrics that you're going to keep track of, the latency, the accuracy, and the impact. So you can use the monitoring and the fallback path. Automation should fail gracefully with defined manual end off. That means that you know what to do if the automation breaks, so you don't blow everything up. Then the demo versus the production. So the tool first, it's a great demo, better flow and real usage. You don't know the owner, and the error handling is fragile. But when you start with the workflow, you have a durable systems, you have predictable outputs, you can measure your impact, and you can have clear remediation path. So you need to prioritize the workflow design to avoid impressive proof of concept that fail at scale. So here what you can do is you can have small high value pilots. So you start with a narrow decision that matter, you prove a result, you document the workflow, and then you can scale. You can build with a human in the loop, so you can design a verification gates where human judgment matter, use them to train and improve model and rules. And then you can govern and iterate, so you can track metric, incidents, and drift to improve the workflow and the tool choice based on the operation learning. So now the final prescription is you need to stop starting with tools. You need to map the decision. You define the outcome and the owner. You define the workflow. You pick the tool, and then you can implement. So that shift from product adoption to system design is the difference between demo and durable. So you can scale AI with a good impact. So I hope you like this presentation, and I see you in the next one.